Hi, I'm Mike Pelfrey, and you're watching Mets Weekly.
This week on Mets Weekly, we're looking at the history of Mets draft picks. From one who's beginning to find his form,
Swing and a miss, he struck him out.
to one who's still working on his craft,
I just try to get as many outs as possible as I can.
to a pick who just got signed.
I think it's an exciting pick, and I think it's going to be a kid to really watch his progress in the minor leagues.
There you go, boss.
Thanks a lot, man.
And we'll catch up with a former number one pick who's still number one.
I've had a lot of great memories at Shea Stadium.
By fans, for fans, this is Mets Weekly. Welcome to Mets Weekly. I'm Jocelyn Pierce. On this week's show, we're going to profile and catch up with the Mets draft picks. We begin with the team's first pick in the 2005 draft, Mike Pelfrey.
Struck him out. Fastball swung on and missed, strike three.
Mike Pelfrey was picked 9th by the Mets in the talented 2005 draft that included Justin Upton, Ryan Braun, Ryan Zimmerman, and Troy Tulowitzki.
There's a lot of expectations, but nobody's expectations exceed what I have for myself. So, I mean, it's something you kind of get used to when you're playing the game and growing up and different levels you go to.
Mets fans got their first look at the 6'7" right-hander in July of '06.
Big Mike Pelfrey delivers the first pitch of his major league career, a fistball down the middle for a knee-high called strike one. 3-2 with one out. Jacobs not going. Struck him out. Mike Pelfrey has won his major league debut.
Pelfrey won his first game and had a habit similar to a basketball legend.
Oh, look at he sticks his tongue out when he throws. How about that?
Michael Jordan on the mound.
Pelfrey worked out controlling his tongue, but over the next year and a half, still needed work on controlling his fastball.
And Kelly rockets one to deep right field. Back goes Church looking up, and it's out of here.
Over the past 2 seasons, Pelfrey has showed flashes of what made him a star pitcher in college.
That's the way it is with every young player. I mean, until they've succeeded at the major league level, it doesn't matter that they've been a star in college or that they've been a great pitcher in the minor leagues. They have to know that they can get people out up here. And once that happens, that's the next step in the development.
But it really all came together recently against the Diamondbacks. Pelfrey struck out 8th, and his fastball was buzzing.
Swing and a miss, he struck him out. And if he keeps pitching the way he pitched tonight, his world will be golden.
With Pelfrey, it's always been a matter of confidence. I mean, people have been raving about his skills ever since he was the first-round draft pick. The Mets, they've just been waiting for it to happen. Now I think it's coming together.
When you look at Pelfrey and you look at his development, even in his last start, when he got into a little bit of trouble, Schneider was going out to him, talking to him, settling him down, and that's important for a pitcher to have that kind of a relationship with a catcher that, let's face it, Pelfrey hasn't really had the opportunity to develop that kind of relationship, so that's been huge.
2-2, struck him out.
I feel, more confident. If I go out there and I execute pitches, I'm going to get guys out. And, I feel a lot more confident in being able to do that.
He struck him out. An exceptional performance by Mike Pelfrey, a season-high 7 strikeouts.
Pelfrey has the stuff, but he's got to trust himself. He has to be able to put the ball over the plate, let hitters hit his sinker into the ground, and let the fielders do it. It's been a while longer than the Mets thought it would take, but finally it looks like it's finally here.
A coming-of-age night for Mike Pelfrey.
With nearly 3 months of the season complete, it's safe to say the Mets have been playing pretty inconsistent. So we asked reporters and fans what they think the team needs to help them improve.
Well, certainly the bullpen with any team could use a bolster. Really, the formula for the Mets 2 years ago was Aaron Heilman and Duaner Sanchez leading into Billy Wagner. Neither of those guys has been exceptional this year. Duaner's been better, obviously. But the other thing, too, with Moises Alou going back on the DL with the strained calf, going on the DL for the 3rd time this year, and Brian Church out with a concussion, I think they could use also someone in the outfield, too.
I think what they need to look for is really kind of a power bat in one of the corner outfield spots. just to give him that boost. You know, they could get that maybe from Fernando Martinez if he's healthy, but, you know, their top prospect hasn't been healthy in the minor league. So as we get closer to this trade deadline, look for major offensive help for this team.
A number of names are going to be out there. The most interesting one I heard today was Matt Kemp of the Dodgers. They may be looking for someone, but that's going to be a pretty high price to pay.
I mean, really at the very top of that list is Xavier Nady right now. But the Pirates know a lot of teams want them, and they want marquee young talent for him, and the Mets aren't going to pay that price right now.
I think we got the players. Maybe we just need consistency. It feels like when one area is lacking, the other one falls apart.
I think the team somehow needs a spark, right? We don't have that player that's just a spark plug.
A captain, they need, like the Rangers had Mark Messier. They need a Mark Messier.
Reyes is there sometimes, but when he doesn't get on base, the team is, you know, they don't have that energy that they have. They don't have that charisma. They don't have that attitude.
Right now, it's just they need to get the situational hitting together. I don't think it's one thing or another. It's a couple things. Situational hitting hasn't been there.
They need guys to hit in the clutch, and they just don't seem to have that. They don't have that right mix.
And the bullpen, you know, needs to come in and shut it down, stop giving up runs.
They played more like a unit. I think we might have the pieces to move on.
Still to come on Mets Weekly, we catch up with the newest draft picks in Coney Island.
Infielder Reese Havens.
Welcome back to Mets Weekly. As you know, this week we're looking at the Mets draft picks. And as the Brooklyn Cyclones begin their season in Coney Island, fans get their first look at this year's pick, Reese Havens. Welcome to Coney Island, home of the Astroland Park, Nathan's Hot Dogs, and the Mets minor league team, the Brooklyn Cyclones.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to meet the opening day 2008 Brooklyn Cyclones.
Mets 2008 draft picks Reese Havens and Brad Holt hope to follow the success of Cyclone alumni Angel Pagan, Joe Smith, Nick Evans, and Carlos Muñiz.
Number 12, infielder Reese Havens. Number 44, pitcher Brad Holt.
Brooklyn's different, definitely from, you know, where I'm from, but I like it.
Yeah, we came up here the day after I flew in. We came up here that morning and looked around at the park and everything, and then we walked out on the boardwalk and looked at the beach, and it's different, but I like it.
You know, I like the 8,000 to 9,000 people tonight. That's going to be awesome.
Really, Brooklyn in general is a good way for the players to get acclimated to the majors well before they're here, because the crowds are so large, and New York crowds have a certain little flavor to them.
Well, I think that one of the things that is exciting about the way the New York Mets do things is that when they draft guys, they put them in Brooklyn for, you know, a variety of reasons. And I think one of those things is to create the connection with their high-level players with their fan base. Because let's face it, this place is packed with Met fans every night. You know, Edgar Alfonso, who's the manager of the Cyclones, is well known for his ability to develop young players. So when you got a guy like Reese Havens, who has so many tools, he instills in them the confidence to play at a high level.
And Reese Havens, I think the Mets did themselves a great service by getting a middle infielder who has the potential to be a very good offensive player.
I like his bat. He had good potential, hitting potential, and very good hands.
I think it was an all-SEC, all-defensive player too, so it's going to be interesting to see which way they go with him. Obviously, he's a shortstop. There's really not room in the majors for a shortstop yet, as long as Jose Reyes is here. but I think there's a really good chance you're going to see him converted to a second baseman.
The talk when the draft happened was this guy might be a catcher. They might do a Russell Martin with him and convert him behind the plate.
You're talking about a guy in Reese Havens who has been projected as a guy that might be a great catcher, that might be a great infielder. These are big needs for the New York Mets at the major league level.
It'd be great to see Havens come up and become part of an infield with David Wright and Jose Reyes for a number of years to come. So I think it's an exciting pick, and I think it's going to be a kid to really watch his progress in the minor leagues.
I think it's just to keep the same routine I've done coming up. Just keep working hard. As long as you're having fun, having a good time out here and working hard, things usually work out for you.
The interesting thing about this year's draft is that it wasn't pitching heavy, and that they waited until their third-round pick to, take Brad Holt.
Born and raised in Albemarle, North Carolina. Grew up there, went to high school there. College, I went to UNC Wilmington.
And he's another guy that, he's 6'4", he's size, he throws hard.
When I'm on the mound, definitely aggressive. I like to think I felt the strike zone a good bit. Challenge hitters with a lot of fastballs. There's no real strategy to it. As long as I come ready to play and I pitch and do okay, I feel like I'll be all right.
Here at Shea, a couple of special guests with me. Mets signing a couple of their top draft picks. Brad Holt, the pitcher out of UNC Wilmington, is to my left and to my right. Reese Havens, a shortstop out of South Carolina.
I didn't know exactly what they wanted us to do, but we got there and they had us dress out in full uniform, and we went out there and stretched. And first guy I sat down beside was Johan Santana, and I'd never really met a big league guy.
Yeah, I got to meet most of the guys in the clubhouse, and it's a great group of guys in there. Hit BP and then took some ground balls at the Reyes.
It was cool hanging around some of the guys and then actually throwing in the bullpen with them. It was exciting. It was really cool.
First time for everything, and I felt good after I was in there for a little while, so I'm just excited to be here.
What are you looking most forward to about playing professional baseball? Both of you guys will be with the Brooklyn Cyclones.
Mostly just the experience. Great competition. Everybody's up here for a reason, so I'm just excited to go ahead and get started and see how it goes.
It's awesome. It's your dream growing up and play pro ball, and just to be here now is kind of living in the dream, and it feels great to be down on the surface.
Still to come on Mets Weekly, Daryl meets the fans.
Man, you are my favorite player of all time since I was 7 years old.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
But first, we look at the newest Met, Trot Nixon.
Trot Nixon gets a nice hand from the Shea crowd as he makes his first plate appearance as a Met.
Well, what was the reaction when you got the call and you said you're coming to New York?
I was very happy. Obviously Omar and front office given me this opportunity to come and help a team that's kind of been injury plagued. And that's all I want to do. I just want to come over here and help in any way, shape, or form, and help this team win ball games.
Nixon shoots one past the mound. Kinsler will not get it. Base hit. And so Trot Nixon has his first base hit as a New York Met.
You can look in the mirror every night and ask yourself, hey, did I give it everything I had? And you're satisfied with that, and it's true, then that's all you can ask.
2-1, driven to deep right field. That goes Bradley, near the wall, and it's off the fence and bouncing away from him. In at second is Trot Nixon with a two-base hit.
Welcome back to Mets Weekly. So this week, we're looking at draft picks. And one of the best picks the Mets ever made was choosing Darryl Strawberry first in 1980. Darryl Strawberry recently held an autograph signing in the city.
Man, you gave me all this water. I don't need all this water.
Promoting 2 new DVD sets in honor of the last year of Shea Stadium.
Yeah, how are you, man?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. Is there one thing you will miss about Shea Stadium?
One thing?
Yeah.
Oh, just the ballpark in itself.
Just the ballpark itself?
Yeah, it was a great ballpark. I love hitting in it. I had a lot of fun hitting in it.
Okay, what do you think of the new one?
Well, I haven't been in the new one, so I really don't.
I'll tell you that it's supposed to be very, very nice.
Greatest Met player of all time leader in home runs. Jersey should be retired. I'm here to start that campaign right now.
huge thrill. I met him once before. He was a great guy. About to do it again. Oh,
what's up, man?
Man, you are my favorite player of all time since I was 7 years old. You were a rookie, man. I wear this jersey to 30 Mets games a year.
Bro,
I wear it to Wrigley Field, Philadelphia.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you. There you go, boss.
Thanks a lot, man.
All right.
Man, he was great. It was everything that I hoped it would be, man.
I've been waiting so long to meet him.
It was awesome, man. Incredibly nice.
How are you?
Pleasure to meet you. We need you in the outfield.
They keep telling me that, man. I can't help it. I can't help him.
Darryl Strawberry, most graceful player we've ever had. Just a great all-around athlete and a great guy.
You know, all you can do is hope and pray that they come around and things go well for them. There you go, buddy.
I bought the Shea Stadium Essentials.
Essential New York Mets Shea Stadium games on DVD.
And Say Goodbye.
I'm looking forward to watching all these games. Some great stuff on there. Cool. It's a piece of history.
Well, I think it's truly great. I think it's history in the making. You know, Shea Stadium last year, and you know all the great players that's been able to come through the Met organization and play at Shea Stadium. It's going to be missed. You know, I've had a lot of great memories at Shea Stadium, and I remember the years of the '80s, the exciting times for our team in this city. You know, now it's time to move on. I kind of wish they would have had a new stadium when we were playing. It would have been great. It would have been nice to, you know, to be able to enjoy playing in a new stadium. But unfortunately, we didn't, and we played in Shea Stadium. And I think sometimes it get overlooked, you know, of the history. And the Mets, you know, they really do have some history over there. And you know, but it's time for them to, you know, move forward. There you go. All right. How you been?
Good.
Yeah.
Keeping busy, you know. Getting married next month.
Oh, lucky you, huh?
I know, right? Good seeing you.
You too, man.
Good Father's Day present, don't you think?
That's a great Father's Day present. If he's a Met fan.
Yes, he's a Strawberry fan. So.
Now you saying goodbye to Shea.
Yeah, and he is.
That's
History in the making, right?
Yes, he is.
I get a little picture?
Sure.
Okay.
You know, I've always thought the fans were the most important thing that can come out to the ball game. And I think that's why we were so successful in the 80s, because the fans came out and they supported us. And it was just an exciting time. They just adored those teams we had in the 80s. And like I said, we won in 86, we lost in 88. We should have won more for them. But I know they greatly appreciate us and our effort that we went out there and gave to them every night we stepped on the field. Those days are long gone for me.
86 was a good year.
It was a great year. Yeah.
Lenny Dykstra was chosen 315th overall in the 13th round of the 1981 draft. Mets fans couldn't be happier.
How I remember.
How I remember.
How do I remember Lenny Dykstra? Nails, hard as nails.
Total hustle on every play.
I appreciated that. Every time he came out, he was ready to play. Crashing into the wall.
Throwing his body in harm, he didn't care.
He makes a diving catch. You wonder if his body's going to withstand it that much longer.
Lenny Dykstra was a really tough guy, tough individual, not afraid of anything, anybody, always up for a challenge.
He was nails, man. He was nails. He was rugged. He was always chewing tobacco, always spitting around. He gave it his all.
He was the spark plug of the Mets in 1986. He was it.
Without Lenny Dykstra, the Mets do not go to the World Series in '86.
He was everything that the '86 Mets personified. He was tough. He came up through the farm system. He was exciting. He was hard as a rock, and he did everything he could to win.
The ball was hit deep into the outfield, and Lenny did one of those long jumping catches.
Lenny Dykstra, he worked. He earned his money.
He was so cute and adorable.
He used to get dirty every game, never had a clean uniform. Him and Wally Backman were the Wild Boys.
He was a lot of fun to go out and watch play because he was just this little guy who kind of just never stopped running.
And he gave all Mets fans under 6 feet a reason to believe.
He was a gamer. The guy was always a gamer, and he was someone who you could tell your kids to look up to.
Lenny Dykstra was the symbolism of the Mets in the 80s.
For me, he was the best.
Still to come on Mets Weekly, the 2007 pick looks to help out the Mets bullpen.
Number 44, right-hander, Eddie Coon.
Welcome back to Mets Weekly. Over the past 8 years, the Mets used most of their first draft picks on starting pitching. In 2007, they went a different route, choosing closer Eddie Coons.
Hi, my name is Eddie Coons. I'm a pitcher, and I'm from Portland, Oregon.
Number 44 for the right-hander, Eddie Coons.
Eddie Coons looks like a closer. I mean, if you bumped into him on the street and you knew he played baseball, you would identify him immediately as a closer.
Purely on size, you know, you're talking about Eddie Coons as a guy that's been attracting a lot of attention, and people are always asking how he's throwing.
In Binghamton, he saved 10 out of 11 games so far, a few rough outings recently, but he's been good. But the question is, does he have the control?
All my pitches are hard, whether it's my fastball, my slider, my changeup, everything is. And I just try to do the best I can. I can throw in and out with my fastball, and I can throw slider for a strike for a ball, and I just try to get as many outs as possible as I can.
But never being around a guy who has such a powerful sinker. We're working on fastball to extension side, and once again, consistency to pitch ahead and to be able to use his pitch in any count, anytime.
Yeah, he's got great heart. And to me, he's got the mentality and the character to be a stopper.
My mental game has always been there for me a lot. Like I can forget things really easily, and that's the biggest thing for any relief pitcher, whether you're a closer, setup guy, middle guy, doesn't matter what it is. If I have one bad outing, I'll sit down in the dugout for a little bit, but as soon as I leave the ballpark, it's gone. There ain't nothing. I'm not thinking about it anymore. I'm thinking about the next day and getting ready for the next game. Spring training was a blast. I mean, going down there for big league camp and all that kind of stuff, and just being with the actual Mets team, and being this my first spring training, and then being in a big league spring training for my first year was definitely amazing. I learned so much within the 3.5 weeks I was there from everybody, from all pitching staff, whether it was the starters or the relievers. I mean, the biggest guys that helped me out down there was Aaron Hellman and Billy Wagner were the two guys who kind of eased my way and helped me out a little bit with how the drills, little things they do, and mental, physical, all that kind of stuff, which really helped me out a lot.
I don't know if this is a guy in Eddie Coons who's necessarily going to be pitching for the New York Mets in 2008, but he's a guy that could be their future closer. I mean, he's got that kind of devastating, heavy, power-sinking stuff.
I mean, he's a future star that's going to be, need some work in the minor leagues and maybe come along. Maybe he can be groomed for a bullpen role later down the line.
The question is, does he have the control? If he does, he could be a closer. If not, potentially a setup man.
So he's a guy that, while he hasn't shown it statistically, every scout that I talk to sees a tremendous amount of upside in this guy.